Hey everyone, welcome to the AllBrands show. I'm Barbara from allbrands.com and we have a special treat for you today. We are going to be making a quilt with the Serger and it's going to be super fun. And we have an exciting announcement. There's tons of exciting things coming up. But one thing that we're really excited about is our Houston move. And I thought I was going to have to go. Courtney is there with the rest of the team. And I'm going to bring her in and she's going to show us the old Houston store. Hey, Courtney.
I'm here. I'm in the old Houston store. I'm actually in the classroom right now because I'm trying to stay out of their way. They've got people moving and grooving in there, moving all the things, but the cat is out of the bag. The Houston store is moving. Woo!
Yes.
So not only are we moving to a new location, but we're moving to a bigger location.
I'm so happy to hear that because oftentimes we've struggled having our big events at the Houston store because the classroom is smaller. So tell us more about that.
So this new location is bigger, and we heard you guys. We see the comments. Me and Barbara read the comments. Hi, we read the comments, and we see you guys saying, "Man, I really wish I would do an AllBrands Academy in the Houston locations. I wish you guys would do events in Houston. What about Houston? Don't forget about us." We didn't forget about you. We have been working behind the scenes to find this amazing new location, and it is only 8 minutes away from our current store. 8 minutes. That is it. 8 minutes away. And I'm going to drive it today with you guys. I do need my phone for a GPS. So Barbara is going to do other things while I'm driving. And I'm going to bring you to a new location. Now, that being said, today is move day. Today, I have tennis shoes on. Today is move day. So there's boxes everywhere, guys. There are boxes everywhere. We are moving. We are moving right now. So the new store is not fully up and running, but we're hoping to possibly maybe have it open by Saturday. Possibly, if all things go well. And then we are planning a giant, huge grand opening, not this Saturday, but we are going to plan a giant grand opening and Barbara will be there. I'll be there. And it's going to be so fun. So me and Barbara are currently working to plan that. But of course, we have to move the store before we can do a grand opening. So do you guys want to say goodbye to the Houston store as it is right now and go over to the new store?
I can say bye. I'm ready for the new store.
We want in-store events. We want all the cool stuff. And honestly, look, just to be sentimental for a second, the only reason that we're able to move to this beautiful brand new store is because of the amazing people that come into the store and shop online with us and support our channel. You guys are the reason that we're able to move to this beautiful new store. So thank you. So not only is it our store, it's your store. It's a family owned and operated business. You're part of the family. Welcome. So we are so excited. So let's go see the store. Okay.
Will Quilt says bye. Yes, new store. The end of an era, and we're turning the page, something very new and exciting. I am so excited. So look at this store. It looks like oh my gosh, it's empty. Almost.
I tell you, they have been working. I don't want to put them on camera, but they have been working nonstop. The Houston team has been working nonstop, clearing the store and bringing everything. Don't worry, the fabric's coming with us. Bringing everything over to the new store. The machines are gone. That was the first thing we brought over. And now we're going to bring over all of our amazing fabrics. We'll get new fabrics for the new store because, of course, we have to. It's a new store. We got to get new fabrics.
Wow. Well, Courtney's going to jump into her car, and it's going to take approximately 8 minutes to get from our old location to our new location, which is 1185 West NASA. Yes, NASA. Right by NASA Parkway, and it's right off of I-45 in South Houston. So
I went there this morning and then drove here right after, and I was on the phone with Barbara. She didn't even realize that's what I was doing. She's like, "You're there already?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm there already. It's right down the road, but it's bigger and newer."
Oh my gosh. So I thought I was going to have to go. But you guys are doing an amazing job, and we really appreciate that. And so you go get in your car because we can't wait to see the new location. And we're going to learn a little bit about serging in the meantime.
All right. I'll see you guys in about 8 minutes.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, she switched me.
Hey everyone,
here on the
welcome to
side.
the AllBrands show. I'm Barbara from allbrands.com, and today we have a special treat for you. We're getting more into the sergers as we were before, and we're just diving a little deeper. Now today I decided to show you how to make a Speedy quilt on a serger. So I can't wait to show it to you. I feel like everyone right now is having a baby. Let me know what you think. And you want to make them something special, but you also want to do things for yourself. Hello. So you want to whip up something real quick. So what do you think the fastest machine to make a quilt is on? A sewing machine or a serger? Which one sews the fastest? I'll give you a second in the comments. Let me know what you think. A serger is so much faster than a sewing machine. So if you guessed it right, ding, 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 you're awesome. And yeah, so that's why we're going to show you today some really cool techniques on how to get started with a serger. So I am on my Bernina L for Overlocker. Bernina L890. This is a combination cover hem and serger machine. So I have it set up right now for a chain stitch, which I have set up on my fabric, and I have actually tested it out. So this is what it looks like on top. It looks just like a straight stitch, right? Look at the back. It just looks a little different on the back. It makes a chain, okay? So on your serger, you'll like chain off. It's really, really cool. So let's go ahead and get started. I went ahead, and you can see on my lower star back here, I went ahead and I cut tons of squares that I'm just going to sew together on my chain stitch machine. So I'm going to put right sides together. I'm going to have them all ready to go. You can see that. And I'm going to hold my hands on my fabric while I use. All right, one foot that I really like is the C27 foot for chain stitching and combination stitching. I'm going to make sure that my needle clears the foot when I get started. And I'm going to use the guides on the foot, actually, to go ahead and try to measure out what is a 1/4 inch seam allowance to where my needle is. And I really think it's this second to last little guide here. So I'm going to use that to measure my stitches. I'm going to chain off, and then I'm going to take my seam gauge and measure 1/4 inch down and make sure I got it correct. Perfect. So I will use this foot and this little line on the foot for all my stitching going forward. And that's just an easy way to do it on all overlockers, to measure your seam. Just find a spot on the machine. There's also, when you're doing regular searching, there's a snap-on guide that you can use as well, and those are really helpful. So we'll just continue to chain off the stitch. And I really love the knee lifter because I can put my pieces together, sew them together, and then go on in a row. This is why I really like the knee lifter, because I can use that and keep my hands on the fabric at all times. when you're using your serger to stitch, if you don't have a cover hem machine that has the chain stitch, you can always use the serge stitch for this. It is used just the same way. You measure your seam allowance on a test piece of fabric before you get started. And then instead of using the chain, you just use a serge stitch. You go all the way down the line. And I'm just continuing to make a chain until I'm finished putting all of my pieces together. And, you know, there is a standard baby sized quilt. I don't know what it is, but you can do any size your heart desires. Now, let's say we wanted to do half square triangles, a different kind of stitch, a different kind of block. You can still use your serger. You don't have to limit yourself just to simple block designs. I just find that this is the fastest way to cover a big surface area so that it takes less time to make the quilt. So now we're finished. I'm just going to go ahead and chain off. Always chain off on your sergers. And you can either trim your thread or there is a little thread trimmer on the side here. Right there. Okay, and look, we have a banner. Oh my goodness gracious. We have a banner of quilt squares. So the next step that you do is just take your scissors, cut them all up, and just be careful with these stitches. You might want to leave a little tail because these stitches are lock stitches, and if you don't leave a tail, it could unravel on you. So I would say leave about ½ an inch on each side, and that should do well for you. Maybe you're not sure what the baby is. Go ahead and make a bunch of these. Make some blue, make some all different colors. Okay, and that way they're ready for you when you go ahead and start sewing everything together. We have all of our squares put together, and now we're going to go to the Laura Star and open them up. Okay, here's my backing fabric. I'm just going to go ahead and leave that. It's not going to hurt anything. And I'm going to press open my seams towards the pink. One great thing about the Laura Star is to turn it on. All you have to do is press the start button, hold it, and count to 10. And then you'll see some lights flashing, and then it's auto on all the time, so you can sew all day without your iron shutting off. And it's very simple. Okay, so now that our iron is ready to go, I'm just going to take it, I'm going to tilt it up, and I'm just going to clear out the steam. Hey everyone, I think that Courtney may be giving me a sign that she's ready. Courtney, all right, I'm going to add you to the stream. Hey, how's it going in Houston?
Good. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Camera. All right, hold on. Let's see. Okay, that's better.
Are you still driving? Girl, be careful.
I'm in an empty parking lot. So I'm pulling up to the store right now, but I wanted you guys to see the outside of the store. That way you'll know what it is. We are still switching over signs and all that good stuff. So of course that is going to take a bit. All right, I am parked. Okay, I am parked. The car is off, Barbara. I am safe.
Yay.
Grab my purse. So and did that take very long?
I'm really excited to see the parking lot because I know parking was a little difficult at our previous location. Look at all the spots.
I look
Woo!
like a weirdo in the parking lot.
I love how the wind is like catching your hair. It makes you look so supermodel right now.
So, welcome to the parking lot. We have more than enough space, again, to do events and whatever we want. And the new location is right over here. Are you guys ready? Now, currently it says mattress, but we're changing that. It will say AllBrands, so tempo. Da-da-da-da. There she is.
Oh my goodness. I love all the windows in the front.
Look how big this store is.
Yes.
This is amazing.
So what are our landmarks, Courtney? Is that a Big Lots?
So we have a Big Lots right there.
Okay.
There it is. There's us. There's a Leslie's Pool Supply, and there's a Jack's Carpet right there. Okay. So we're in good company, and I'm gonna move so Marcia doesn't run me over. They are hustling and bustling right now. We are pulling machines in. Now, be kind with us because we're still moving. Okay.
I love seeing behind the scenes.
This is behind the scenes. All
They've
right.
seen my sewing room.
Margie's here. Bruce is here.
Hey, Bruce. Oh, wow. That's so much bigger.
It's so much bigger. Oh, my goodness. So we are hard at work right now. And by we, I mean Margie.
Hi, Margie.
And Sam. Like, we have the whole crew here right now. There's John F.
Hi, John.
He never gets on camera. We got him, guys. We got him.
Yes.
So they have been hustling, bustling. Margie has a fantastic team here. They have been bringing in all the machines, all the things. She's like, I'm not stopping to talk to you guys. I got things to do. Now, you guys, do you want to see something pretty cool? It's not done. It's not done. Margie, you ready?
This is our classroom.
Wow.
Look at the classroom.
That's huge.
The cool thing is, so there will be a wall here. Pretend there's a wall right there. But look how high our ceilings are. Like, we have humongous ceiling. I'm echoing right now because we don't want you to feel like you're in a cave. We want to have a sewing retreat. We don't want to have a sewing, embroidery, quilting moment. So this gigantic space is our classroom. This is going to be gone. Ignore that.
You know what I want? I want to have like a whole wall and then have one of those fancy library ladders. Where
Yes.
you just
Me and
rolls
Margie have been getting excited.
Oh my gosh. Well,
We have been getting excited at all the possibilities that we could do with such a large space. And that's just the classroom. All of this. So, I'm spinning. So it is humongous. They're hard at work, moving all the things. This whole area over here is just going to be fabric. Like tons and tons of fabric. We're going to have thread. We're going to have machines. We're going to have so many things because we have a bigger space to now be able to do and have these amazing things. So we are so excited.
I'm so excited. So we're going to be planning a grand opening as soon as everything is in its place and we're ready for that. And also we're planning potentially an event in the fall.
Fingers crossed. We're going as fast as we're probably on a machine. We're going as fast as we possibly can to get this new machine or this new store. But the thing with this new store is we want it perfect for you guys. And me and Barbara are both a little OCD, and we care so much about how this looks for you guys and how this is for you guys that we want to make it perfect. So I'll be here. A whole team's going to be here working through the night. Not even kidding, through the night. To get this up and running and make it the amazing place that you guys deserve, where you can come and be creative and have a lot of fun and come hang out with me and Barbara.
Yes. So for those of you watching that don't know, we're a family-owned and operated business. We have our website, allbrands.com, but we also have 7 retail locations, and who knows, we may be expanding as well. So
Barbara,
we're really excited about that.
She's giving you guys all that. You heard nothing. You guys will be like, we didn't hear her. We'll
Heard nothing.
You'll keep your secret. It's fine. Well, Barbara, I feel bad. I feel like I need to get to work with everyone else. They are moving and grooving. So I'm going to go and help set up. But guys, We have a new store.
Yes, yes. And all thanks to you guys. So
You
thank
guys.
you. Thank you. We can't wait to bring you more events and classes.
Yes. All right, guys.
All right. Thank
I'm
you,
heading out, but
Courtney.
y'all have a good show.
Good job, everybody. All right, let's go back to the Lore Star and learn some more about quilting with the Serger. Bye.
I'll make sure when I go back over there later to grab some more to grab some.
So water condensation can be built up here. So to prevent that, we're just gonna clear it out. Look at this awesome. This iron is amazing. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put my vacuum to suck down on my board so that it pulls this microfine steam all the way through all of the layers of my fabric. And it works like a dream. Like a dream come true. Another way to iron with your Lore Star is always this way. The way that it's manufactured, the steam goes this way. So when you iron like this, it disperses the steam correctly. I'll go ahead and I'll do it here. I'll stage 2 here. Face down. All right, here we go. This thing is awesome. I love this iron. Now, one thing that you may consider, if you're like doing some production or you have some bed and breakfast, there are rotary presses available. Do you remember the old mangle presses back in the day? Well, they're now made for the hospitality industry to do sheets and table linens. But guess what? It's perfect for quilt backing. And even if you're like kind of putting like these squares through, as long as you feed the white in first, it's gonna catch that and push it down with the press. That thing is so awesome. So there's one made by Reliable that's on our website, allbrands.com. And there is another one, the one that I have used in our retail store and I am totally impressed with is the Mila. It's that's a German company. Their motto is Immer Besters, which means forever better. So it doesn't ever hurt to like layer things. As long as you're going this direction and your seams are going that direction, you are good to go, honey. All right, it looks like we just have 2 left. Before I take it to the serger, I'm gonna actually, if you have a quilt wall, this is even better. I have floor currently, so I definitely need to upgrade in here. I'm going to stage my quilt so that I can know like how many squares I have. Because I just took as many as I had, you know? So we're just gonna kind of stage it. I want it to be so long, and I'm going to kind of change up the squares so that it's a checkerboard pattern. Make sure your floor is clean. Thank goodness my floor. This is the cleanest that you may ever see my floor. And I'm telling the truth there. There's usually threads everywhere. So if it's clean, it's easier not to get threads stuck to the inside of your quilt. I'm a visual person. So if you feel like you can do this in your head, please feel free. But I am more comfortable. All right, now I'm going to take my 3s I'll do like a row at a time. So we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 by 6 of these by 3 wide. So I'll take this to the serger. I'm going to put these together and make sure that I arrange it so that I remember it stitches on this side. Okay. I'm going to stack it. 1, 2, 3. And all right. I remembered, and I put it here. I'm stitching here on the fabric. So I'm going to put these in my lap in the orientation they need to be. And I'm going to make sure that I'm matching up. The most important thing is that these two seams match up. Do you see that? Yeah, that's what you want to match up. So those together, then you can hold that with your finger and start your chain. And if you actually, your seam allowance comes up, just go ahead and get something to push it back down. Could be a stiletto. All right, so I'm going to separate these to make sure that they don't get out of whack and do the rest. The less pinning, the faster this thing comes together. Now, since we're doing a lock stitch, since we're having lock stitch over lock stitch, we will be okay with seams not going away. All right, here's what's cool about a lock stitch. Look what I did. My bottom fabric was not on the top fabric. So what I can do is pick up this thread and then literally unstitch it like that. Look, it's magic. Did you see that? I literally just pulled it out so easily. I love working with lock stitch. It's so cool. And then I'll just stitch it again, making sure that my ends are together. Right. So now we're going to take our pieces and put them together in the row like we had. So I will cut my seams and just open and match it up here. So I want white on pink and pink on white. And then I'll do the same thing here. I'm going to match my seam allowances together. You can do it on a table. That's just going to take a little bit more time. Just match them together. Hold that center in place. Start sewing. Right. Then I'll take my piece that I connected and connect the next piece to that. So white on pink and pink on white. Right sides together, matching at the seams and stitching. And we have one row down. Press my seams down. And I'm going to stage my others. So I'm going to start with this one at the top. So I'm going to connect at the bottom, okay? It's always good to get a visual. So I will trim. So we're going to match the bottom. So I'm going to put pink on white, white on pink, match the seams, and so. So I actually think I'm preferring to trimming because I'm noticing that when I pull my chain and do it here, when it's a chain stitch, it stays locked in there and it's pulling the first part of the chain out. So just something to think about. Okay, and I'm going to keep it in the row so that I don't get confused. So let's go to the iron. You don't want to get confused when you're quilting. And me, I have directional issues. So we're just going to take it step by step. If you feel more confident planning it out beforehand, that can save some time. But all right, and then I'm going to take this piece, go to the floor, and match them together. Like that. And then we'll get to the serger, and I can look at my quilt right next to me and make sure that I'm matching everything up accurately. Staging it in my mind here. Just making sure everything is lining up. Tell me in the comments, what is your favorite quilt block? If you need help finding one, the Scan and Cut actually has a lot. There's like mariner's compasses in there and all kind of fun stuff. So if you want to avoid cutting your own fabric, the Scan and Cut is a good investment. And push these seams down. Now, I'm not so worried about light to dark here because it's kind of no way to do it. So if you are like a little persnickety about seeing the fold through the other side, we're doing Speedy quilt today. Go ahead and press your seams open, okay? That takes a little longer. I'm just pressing them all the same way. Perfect. And now, the fun part, we put all of our pieces together. So I will lay this out, and then I'm going to take these two, flip this over. I'm going to match up the seams. And now this one, I would probably definitely take some Wonder Clips. Wonder Clips are faster than pins, but pins will allow you to go through different types of garments. Sometimes a Wonder Clip does not work for all situations. So it's good to have both. Okay, so just like we did before, I'm going to match up my seams and go from the middle out. Okay. Pinning, actually, I'm Wonder Clipping on the actual seam to make sure, and press, this is why pressing is so important. If you're wrinkly, trying to match things up, it's not going to work out the way that you want it to. Promise. makes your life more difficult because then you have to rip stuff out and redo it. So go ahead and invest in a good iron, a good serger or cover hem, or combination of the two, or both, and a good sewing machine. You have to have the right tools in your sewing room. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take this to the machine, all wonder clip together, and stitch down the center, making a chain. I keep my wonder clips in little serving dishes like this. It feels like I'm eating candy with no calories. All right, here we go again. I got a little seam. It's okay. My seam like kind of popped up under the foot, and that's why it's really nice to have this clear foot. I saw that through the foot. Bernina makes some of the best feet. You can tell someone who sews invented them. Now I'm going to press my seam open and grab my other piece. Pressing to one side. Doesn't matter really which side. Kind of pulling the fabric taut so that they're nice and open. All of your seams. Okay. Now I can match up my base to the top, and let's do it on the ironing board. I'm going to match up pink on white, white on pink, get my wonder clips, and guess what? Your squares aren't going to be perfect all the time. Ask me how I know right now. It's just something that happens. And, you know, I think digital cutters are always a good idea when you're cutting quilt pieces out, especially the intricate ones. They're just very helpful. And this is our last stitch. Now, if the top fabric is not matching the bottom, I pull the top fabric. If the bottom is not matching the top, I pull the bottom fabric. Making sure that I get all my quilts out of the way. Probably best to do this not off the edge of the table. So these machines actually have a special table. If you click the link in the description below, that if you're doing quilting or anything with a large surface area, it comes right up to the edge of the machine, so you don't have this issue with like fabric hanging over the edge. You see, like it was pulling, so I kept having, it was doing this number, so I kept having to move it this way. Okay. You definitely don't want your fabric to shift. We're done. Yes, yes, yes. It's so cute and so easy. Here we go. Let's take it to the ironing board, iron it down. And the next thing that we're going to work on is the binding and the backing. And I have a special trick for you with the binding. Here we go. Very cute. I can always also stitch from, press from the top. Make sure I get everything out. All my wrinkles. Not too shabby. Very cute. Making sure my seams are open. All right, so next I'm just putting my topper on top of my table. This is small enough of a quilt to lay it out on my table. And we're making our quilt sandwich. So I find some extra batting that I have, and guess what? If I have remnant pieces, you can use a flat lock stitch in your serger to piece pieces of your batting together. Really works super well. So I'm just kind of staging it on top, and you want to make sure that the batting and the backing have a lot of extra space outside of the top of the quilt. So I'm just cutting a little piece here. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's going to go away later. And then I take my backing fabric. It's always a good idea to just have available some wide back fabric in some standard colors so that you can just have it ready to go. And I just flatten it on top. And then any excess that I have of that backing fabric, I am going to pull that up and over to the side and trim that off so that I can use it later to make 2.5-inch strips for my binding. So let me go get my Kai scissors. Oh, these things are awesome. So this is our WBT1 cutter. This thing, I just press a button and the scissors automatically cut the fabric. If you've never seen that, it is phenomenal. One of my favorites. All right, so I'm just smoothing everything out. And then I'll flip it over all together. Make sure all of my wrinkles are out. This is a very important part. Now, I'm using pins here, but you definitely want to have some safety pins handy. I couldn't find mine, so we're using pins today. And yeah, ask me how I know you don't want to use pins because they will probably poke you every now and then. And trim off all your extra little tails of lock stitches, just pinning all the way around. And then we're going to fold this up and put it out of the way so that we can get our binding ready. So if you want to make binding the right way, you can cut it on the bias. If you're in a hurry and making a Speedy quilt, just keep it simple. Cut 2.5-inch strips, make it quick, make it fast. Just use this little strip that you have left. No sense in wasting fabric when you want to get things done quickly. I'm squaring off my fabric that's folded up. Make sure there's no loose edges. Using my rotary cutter. And then I will measure with my ruler 2.5 inches. Squaring it off on the top and bottom and making strips. And guess what? You can iron on your mat really quick if you need to, just like I did there. Not a lot of scraps left. I'm super happy how this came out. So when you put your binding together, this is what it's going to look like. So you basically take right sides together and make a triangle pointing forward or up. And you're going to stitch from left to right, corner to corner. And then you'll trim off the edge so that when you fold it and iron it out, it's going to lie flat just like this. Super easy. In already. So I'm going to take my pieces. I'm going to do a triangle up, right sides together. And then I'm going to go from corner to corner here on my serger. Okay. This chair is so, there we go. All right, so I'm right on the corner. This is where you really want one of those Bernina tables. Let me tell you. I want one of those Bernina tables that holds the side of my quilt. That would be so nice. So we're just going to make our binding. Find the end of this one. I'm just keeping it all attached for now. Making sure I know what my right side is. The right side's together. Take my other piece. Triangle it up. Corner to corner. Side to side. Triangle goes to the right. Like the point of the triangle goes to the right of the machine. That's how I remember. The tray works too. Okay, so now we have our serged piece here. I'm going to press it open and then fold it together like this. Okay. Let's switch cameras and not get hooked my pins. Okay. And go to the ironing board. I probably made way too much, but guess what? It's much better to have way too much than not enough. But find my seam and make sure I'm pressing to the inside. Now, if you have fusible, go ahead and find something to press on so that the fusible does not get on your ironing board. Got it? Got it? This will save my ironing board from getting dirty. All right. I'm going to press them together. And then I'm going to take my clapper that I don't have by me, and then put it together. And I'm just putting wrong sides together here, making a hot dog fold. All right, so now I'm on my fusible part. Get my stuff underneath. I'm just going to go ahead and press that piece now so I can avoid it. All right. Now I'm going to avoid that gluey piece. Keep on trucking. Okay. Just folding it in half with wrong sides together. Okay, so I made my 2.5 inch binding. And now I'm going to go over to my quilt. So now what I'm doing is I'm changing my machine over from a chain stitch to just a regular 3-thread overlocking stitch. And what I love about this Bernina L890 serger is that there's an intuitive screen on the front that shows me every step of the way how to change my loopers, how to change my needles, and how to do the air threading threads that make it very easy to thread the upper and lower looper through so simply just by jet air threading, which I did right there just really quickly. And then I thread my needles, which on this stitch you would want a 3-thread overlock because we will be pivoting the stitch when we put on our 2.5 strip binding here. So I really love the serger. It's super easy to use and it has so many features. And here's a really great thread. This is called Superior. This is a Superior fusible thread. And this is what we're going to use to attach to the lower looper on your serger to create a sticky adhesive on the back so that when we attach our binding and fold it over and iron it, it sticks before we sew it together. So I'm just tying off and pulling through here to get it ready. Here we go. I'm just pulling those through my loopers. Okay. So I'm going to take my serger and I'm going to just put this right on the edge, okay? But I'm not going to start. I'm going to leave like a good tail, okay? I'm not going to start on a corner or anything like that. I'm going to make sure that my backing fabric is all the way out. Nothing is folded into each other. Because this is where you can have a big oopsie moment. Something's folded into itself. So I'll take my quilt. I'm going to start on the edge. 6 inches of tail, and I'll just kind of make my way into there, okay? All right, so I'm going to loosen my top pressure because I am going through a lot of layers of fabric, okay? And we're going to catch this. Right. Come on. There we go. Now we're like getting onto the road. We're merging onto the highway. Making sure that all of my layers are nice and neat. So you stitch all the way down until you get. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make some kind of mark 1/4 inch up, okay? You can use a pin or like a snip, but measure 1/4 inch up. It's going to make a little snip, and I'm going to know that's where I need to stop. So actually the clear foot would be perfect for this. This one is open enough though so that I can see my needles. Okay, and once my needles get to that little notch, I am going to turn the fabric and stitch right off of the edge. So I'm going to lift my presser foot. I'm going to turn the corner really sharply and stitch right off of the corner edge. Okay, so it's going to look somewhat like this. So not all the way to the edge. Now I can take my binding, go all the way to the right, okay? Making sure that I'm at like kind of a 45-degree angle here. And then stitching the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and make a chain, and then we're going to line it up. I may have to lift my foot. And we're going to be real careful when we get started, because this is where you can accidentally catch some folds, things like that. And we're going to go right over that. And we're going to do that on all the corners. I'll zoom in closer so that you can see. So we're just making that notch again. Lift our presser foot and stitch right off onto the corner. And fold your binding and go all around all four sides. And you don't want to cut off too much excess material. You're just basically using your knife as a guide. Making my notch. Lifting my foot, turning to the corner and stitching off. making a notch, turning the corner. Making a chain, cutting it off. And here's how we fold our binding all the way up and then all the way down, flush with the top, and just stitch right onto that side, holding it together. Then go off the edge. Okay. I'm going to trim my excess here. We're free. Oh my gosh, the quilt is so much easier to deal with now. So look at this. We have all of the edges just serged. Nice. All right, so you're going to take your bottom piece and we're just going to cut it and fold it. All right, so we're going to take our bottom piece, basically just going to fold it in like this. Just like that. And then nestle this inside of there, like so. I will probably pin this so that I can get everything situated. So it's something like this. All right, so I know I have too much here. And this will work. Just like that. We will merge onto the highway. Put it under my foot. And if I feel like I need to use my pen or a stiletto to get the fabric under the foot, I can do that. Using my knee lifter, smoothing things out, sewing it down. And then merging off the highway. All right, so that was the serger, and now remember how we used the fusible thread? We'll go over to the iron, and I'm gonna just iron it down, and I'll show you the magic of the fusible thread. So here we go. I'm at the Lara Star iron, and it's still ready because this ironing board actually has an override so that it can stay on all the time. The default is that it will turn off after a certain amount of time for safety, but I don't like that because I don't want to have to heat my iron up, you know, if I'm doing a big project. So here's our here's the front of our quilt. You can see that, and we have our binding here. Okay. And our lower looper had the fusible on the serge stitch. So now all I have to do is take my iron over and fold it down. And I found my tailor's clapper. Oh, I have up air on. I'm going to put down air on, which actually holds my quilt onto the board, which is so helpful. And then I'm going to take my iron, making sure that the binding clears the sticky stuff so that the sticky part is not getting onto the bottom of my iron. And then I'll go behind it with my tailor's clapper so that it absorbs all of the heat and it sets the holds. And now you can choose to, after you go through all of the sides and the corners, and I'll show you a corner in just a bit. And you can see I have like a little, like a factory line here. So I'm just like going behind my iron with my tailor's clapper. And then when I take my iron off, you can see the binding stays because it's fixed to that fusible lower looper thread. And so you can take it to your sewing machine and stitch in the ditch here. You can hand bind it on the back, or you can take your lock stitch from your cover hem machine and also stitch in the ditch. If you wanted to do a cover hem stitch, you could also do that. I'll show you how to do the corners. Just real quick, and I'll try to get it on the camera for everybody to see. Let's see here. All right, here we go. Here's a corner. So you can see, basically, you just want to create that nice little triangle on the back. So find one side that you're going to fold over and iron it down. And then when you get to the other side here, you're just going to fold it over so that it creates, let's see here, because you want this like little tiny line to go from here out this way 45 degrees. And that looks really nice. So let's go back to the front. I know we had an interesting show today, everyone. And this is our quilt, and it's so easy to do. And I hope that I inspired you to use your serger to create easy quilts. So yeah, and it's so funny, I have to tell you. But before I do, comment hashtag AllBrands because we're going to be doing a giveaway very soon. So on Tuesday, I came into the office thinking that on Thursday I was going to have to help with this move. And so I pre-recorded this video and I was going to edit it. And then I found out that I didn't have to go. So I was like, well, let's do a hybrid. So if you saw the video like speeding up, I thought it actually kind of worked out because it took, a good portion of time even to make a serger quilt. I'm going to put in the comments where I got the inspiration for this, and it has even more information in it. This is from the We All Sew blog with Bernina, and it's a 3-part tutorial, and they even talk about differential feed here, and I think that it's just a really great tutorial for serge quilting. And if you wanted to see anything up close, you can see it there. So I will actually put it onto the screen so that you guys can see it if you're watching and can't see this chat there. So since it was pre-recorded, this is the real me live. Yeah. I was like, let me wear the same shirt. Maybe they won't know. But yeah. Anyway, you'll know now because I saved my bloopers for you. I hope you enjoy this. Here's our bloopers. Engage. Barbara? All right, let's Google that. Oh my. Oh, here's my my chair's in the way. Oh my gosh. Funny. Okay. And I always stick my tongue out when I craft. I don't know why, but I always catch myself sticking out my tongue. Who else does that? Stack them. Oops, I pressed to the white side. Whoopsies. 2, 3, and so on. So on. Ha ha ha. All right. And when you are working with a big. Oh. Oh, man. Did I unplug the camera? Did I unplug the camera? Oh. It's like you can't walk around. You can't walk around and do things in here because I have a cord that is just. I understand that. I understand your memory's full, but you need to work. Okay, for me. I hope you enjoyed that. I often have more trouble with cameras than I do with sewing equipment. Actually, all the time. Cameras just have little gremlins in them for me. Thanks everybody for watching. Let's go ahead and do a giveaway. I'm going to share my screen. If you haven't yet, comment hashtag AllBrands, and we'll be doing our giveaway right. Let me see if it's on the screen. It's not there. There we go. Right now. And our winner. I love it. Yes, I do stick my tongue out when I sew all the time. Vicki Glenn, congratulations, Vicki. Please email me at events@allbrands.com to claim your $25 allbrands.com e-gift card. I'll need your name, number, and address. All right, everybody. Oh my gosh. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I think that was kind of cool that we had like a hybrid show and I was able to like edit certain things. But I do enjoy being live too because I get to, but I did talk to you guys in the comments during, so that was pretty fun. All right, everybody. Well, I hope that you have a great day and that you continue to craft and sew and be creative, and much love, 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 love. All good stuff. Good things coming. Houston move. Another exciting thing that I can't talk about. And another exciting thing that I can't talk about. And then another exciting thing that I can't talk about. And the B990 by Bernina, their new top of the line sewing, quilting, and embroidery machine. You have 10 more days to do the pre-order for that. It's a $1,000 deposit, which is refundable. And you get VIP perks and you get a guaranteed spot in line. So take advantage of that. And then we have Houston Quilt Festival in the fall. We have our AllBrands Academies in the fall. So lots of good stuff, things to be excited about. So, all right, guys, we love you.